and welcome to the Dune Minute Podcast, your place to deep dive minute by minute into the cinematic adaptation of Frank Herbert's world of Dune. I'm one of your hosts, John.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are wrapping up this week. It is Friday.
Woo!
Get ready for the weekend, everybody. But before your weekend starts, we're going to talk about the group's reaction to the dumb shit Paul just said. And at the end, we're going to hear some more stupid shit that Paul just can't stop running his fucking mouth over.
That's right, John.
Yeah. So last episode, everybody spit on the table. Well, everybody that, wanted to,
Everybody
I guess.
matters, I guess.
Well, you saying Gurney Halleck doesn't matter? You saying Thufir Hawat doesn't matter?
I'm saying they didn't spit on the table, so
Oh,
I don't know.
all right, that's fair. Leto Atreides, of course, tries to, continue to be buddy-buddy with Stilgar, who is just, not... He's not here to be friends. He's here to negotiate.
We get a couple of react shots before this, and I love it. So as soon as Paul says, that's true, the camera cuts to Thufir, and he's just stone-faced like, what did he say?
Oh,
Why is he talking?
I didn't calculate this.
He's like, shut up. When Leto starts saying his next line, did you clock Duncan's face?
No, I didn't. This Duncan just like this bitch.
Well, he he kind of slow looks over at Paul. Like if you imagine the geometry of the room.
Yeah.
Because we don't see Paul in this shot, but we see Duncan just kind of like look over in Paul's direction with like a shut the fuck up look. And then he just like looks back like oh my God, why is he here?
Oh God. I didn't notice that.
He's like out of focus. Like only Leto's in focus in this scene, but he's clearly like right behind him. So you can just see him like just give Paul like a slow like death glare and then come back to looking at Stilgar.
Look, if there's anyone I'm going to be afraid of a death glare from, it's going to be Duncan, Idaho.
Right. Leto then goes on to as Duncan is giving Paul this death glare, Leto is acknowledging that the Fremen have suffered under the Harkonnen rule, and then he says, "If there's anything that you want, if it's in my power, I will grant it to you, no questions asked.
I will give it and ask for nothing."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's when Stilgar says, No. You only come for the spice. Take your spice, and when you're done, come back to the shield wall. Leave the desert to the Fremen. He
said, well, what he says specifically is that he doesn't want the Sieches to be sought after.
Yeah, do not seek our
and
Sieches.
That he, the deep desert is what belongs to the Fremen.
Yep.
Basically, get the fuck out. Gurney Halleck then tries to interject and tell Stilgar how to address Leto as
very
either my lord or sire. And like, Leto's like, bro,
Gurney's a man of principle.
And I understand. And I'm all about like, I respect that he's a man of principle, but also like,
read the room.
Yeah. Gurney and Paul right now, shut the fuck up.
Not reading the room very well.
Yeah.
But the Stilgar does not even flinch. He does not even do anything. He's just like, he just gives him a little bit of a side eye. Like just the sass. The sass from this man is awesome. I love it. Even, and you can hear in what Leto says next, he's kind of fed up with it. He's just like, Gurney, just a moment. Just a moment.
I love that.
Leto explains that he cannot promise to not go out into the desert.
Yep.
If duty compels him, he will have to go out there, obviously. But he does say that he will never hunt the Sieches.
He guarantees the safety of the Sieches.
Is that what he says?
While he's governing Arrakis.
Yeah. Your Sieches will be yours forever, and you will never be hunted as long as I govern, something to that effect.
Yeah.
Stilgar thinks about it for a second. And he's like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Good enough.
It's pretty honorable. That's very honorable. I'm not going to do that voiceover again.
Nope. Please don't.
He says that's very honorable. And then one of my favorite things, and I want to try to incorporate this into my personal life. He goes, "That's very honorable. I must go. That's all I have to say to you."
Yeah. I have no further business.
Yeah.
And then you know who has some shit to say? Fucking Paul.
My notes say, as Stilgar's leaving, Paul pipes up again and says, "Won't you stay?" And this is the moment where I was like, okay, I understand why Paul is here, because he needs to learn how to be a duke, all that stuff. I said this yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't think he should be here. This is a really big moment. Mm-hmm. This is a huge moment for Leto and his, desert power dream.
Yep.
And it's not that I think that Leto shouldn't trust Paul. I'm just saying, like, this is a huge deal. And the fact that Paul is just like saying all this
fucking
stuff,
yapping.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird. Paul needs to cool it for just a second. Mm-hmm. Let him talk, let him get to a good place. Then he can, make friends. I don't know. It feels like he's just like stepping out a little bit further than I feel comfortable with him stepping out.
Sure.
And potentially making things worse. They don't know how this person's going to, Stilgar's going to react to the Atreides at all. The fact that he's even here is a crazy thing. So I don't know. It seems like an unknown that I don't know if, clearly Thufir is uncomfortable in this situation. So yeah, I don't know. It just feels awkward and clunky.
It's almost like that moment where it's like, you got everything you wanted and you ask for like one more little thing. And then the deal falls apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Paul just keeps on asking for that one more little fucking thing.
Yeah. We know this scene has a good ending at, towards the end of it, when we'll talk about, on Monday, but
yep.
Yeah, just right now, for as much as we've seen, it's like, come on, dude, just like chill for a second. Let him talk, let him get to a good place. Then we can start with all the pleasantries and asking him to stay and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The scene plays out a little bit different in the book. A lot of the same beats are there. Mm-hmm. So in the books, there's some kind of like altercation, or I think it's maybe like an uprising or something like that. But a Fremen dies in the mix.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was a Fremen who I believe was of Siege Tabur. Duncan fought to defend this Fremen and, fought honorably to, at his side. While Stilgar was already at the capital there. And Stilgar, he's telling Leto and this the party that's in this meeting how much he respects this. What he offers as a sign of respect here is he wants Duncan to have like dual allegiances.
Yeah.
So he says, okay, is this something that's cool? Like we like Duncan. We think he's a good guy. We want him to be part of us.
We want him to be our friend too.
Yeah. So basically, like one of the main outcomes of this meeting between Stilgar and Leto for the first time is that, I think the way they put it in the book, and I should look this up before we recorded today, but it's basically like, while his body and his attention may be the Atreides sometimes, mm-hmm. his water is ours.
Okay.
Yeah. So it means like, yes, he may fight for the Atreides when he needs to be, but at the end of the day, his essence is Fremen, which is a huge deal.
That's big fucking respect and props and shit. So
yeah. So yeah, just it played out a little bit differently. They still come to the same like respectful understanding.
In conclusion,
in conclusion of
everything. They just have split custody of Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah, and
Stilgar gets him on the weekends.
Yeah, right.
And in the holidays. So
all of the lines that Paul says in the movies, mm-hmm. Leto says in the books. So the same, like, that's true. Won't you stay? Yada, yada, yada. What stuff we'll talk about on Monday. All of those lines come from Leto in the books. which makes them so much better.
Yeah.
It actually makes sense that he's saying them because it's them talking. So Paul does not speak at all during this scene. He's in the room, but he does not speak at all during the scene in the book. So I don't know. I think the book scene's a little bit better in this regard.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it, man. That's all we got for this minute. Anything else in your notes?
That's all we got for this week.
That's all we got for this week. What do you think? What do you want to give this a rating?
It's definitely not as high as last week. Last week was
that was very good last week.
Banger of a week. I'd probably give this week a 5.
Okay.
There's a lot of, standing around and talking.
Sure.
But
courtroom intrigue.
Duncan Idaho's back.
It's true.
We love some Duncan Idaho.
We get to meet Stilgar.
We do get to meet Stilgar.
That's huge.
Listen, okay.
That is huge.
Yeah, no, we do get to meet Stilgar, and
we get to see
before we end.
We get to see Thufir Hawat smile again.
We do, but before we end, I am going to gush again over casting, and Javier Bardem is just
yeah.
He's perfect for the role.
He's very, very, very good in this role.
Yep. Anton Stilgar's back on the scene, baby.
If they would have had him in that.
That's a callback to like episode 2 or 3 of this podcast.
I think it was first week.
Yeah, it was somewhere in the first week because it was back when we were in the really shitty echoey room that we decided to record in.
Hey man, we're all growing up here.
Yeah.
If they'd have come out with the Anton Sugar haircut on Stilgar, that would have been funny. Missed opportunity. Someone Photoshop that in. All right, cool.
I just want Stilgar with the Anton Sugar haircut, but then also holding the tank with the cow.
Sure.
Fucking thing instead of a Chris knife.
All right, cool, man. Well, that'll do it for this week. We will be back on Monday to continue this meeting with Stilgar and the crew and see what else we got going on. Yep. We will see you guys next week. If you'd like to get in touch with us until then, we are on Instagram at The Dune Minute. You can send us an email at duneminute@gmail.com. And then we are on Twitter at Dune Minute. I'm getting better at that. Yep. We're getting there one day. All right, cool. We'll see you next week on the Dune Minute Podcast. Have a good weekend.